So, throughout my time playing Genshin Impact, I've noticed a distinct lack of variety between the characters, such as the new character, Eula, basically being an Ice Diluc, but with a more advanced playstyle. So this got my mind thinking, how can miHoYo add more variety to her characters without outright just adding more characters? This problem has been plaguing many other games similar to Genshin Impact, but specifically, Gacha games. The thing about Gacha games is that they keep adding more characters, and by adding more characters, the old previous characters introduced into the game will become underwhelming and not meta for the current gameplay. So with 5 more regions to unlock in Genshin Impact, how will our starting characters live up to our standards in the future? Many games have approached this problem in different ways, but one that really stands out and would be perfect in a game like Genshin Impact would be a specialty change. Now you're probably thinking, from a developer and profit viewpoint, what would you want a feature that would make old characters OP or at least live up to the meta? And well, to put it simply, they don't. But statistically speaking, the more characters Genshin Impact releases, the more money they'll get and the more advanced characters will be. And I'll use Eula as an example again. Eula is probably the most advanced character Genshin has released so far. The way you play her is to balance out her stacks and apply the insane damage you can deal to your opponents all at the right time. And in the future, these characters will get reruns and will probably be harder to get, which will give players more incentive to pull for old characters to get this specialty change. Now, how would this specialty change work? Well, this has already been solved by another ambitious gacha game put out by Korean developers, a game called Epic 7. For those wondering what Epic 7 is a mobile gacha RPG game where you battle enemies in a turn-based battle system. Now, Epic 7 has been out for 3 years and has an expansive storyline following Raz, the heir of the Covenant, where he's lived through 6 failed timelines where he couldn't stop the Archdemon from destroying the world. A pretty cliche story, but also hides a deeper lore that I'm not going to get into. Basically, you play as Raz on his 7th try at stopping the Archdemon, which is why the game is called Epic 7. And well, Raz beats the Archdemon in this timeline, but the game continues, adding more regions locked behind future updates. And by continuing the story, Raz unlocks a new feature, the Specialty Change feature, where he becomes a better unit than his prior form. The main reason they had to give Raz a Specialty Change was because he has been the same unit for 3 years, and the current content was way harder than the beginning content. The thing is, Raz was a free character, so it was okay to lose profit over a free character. But they also gave other characters specialty changes, characters that could only be obtained through the Epic 7 gacha system. Which leads us back to Genshin Impact. Obviously, we are at the beginning content of Genshin Impact, where the Traveler could be as underwhelming and as bad as they want to. But, in the future, the enemies are gonna get harder and the content would probably be impossible for the free characters to beat. So what? Do we just give into the gacha system and pull for meta units and future characters in Genshin Impact? Well, obviously not, because I haven't even shown you my idea for the specialty change that could be implemented into Genshin Impact. Delusions. The opposite of visions. The man-made versions of visions that were not made by the Archons. The very thing that gives Snezhnaya the upper hand against the other nations in Devon. These man-made visions could be a perfect opportunity for miHoYo to give underwhelming characters a boost and to introduce specialty changes into Genshin Impact when players finally reach Snezhnaya. So why Delusions? Why would our characters, the good guys, use Delusions, the weapons made by our bad guys? Well, to put it simply, Snezhnaya and the Fatui were never originally our antagonists. They were never the bad guys. The real, true antagonist is the unknown god we met at the beginning of Genshin Impact. And the game has also been hinting at how the Archons aren't the cheery and happy characters we see them as, but actually region-destroying monsters who would kill innocent people. So if our characters do manage to obtain the power of Delusions, they could be less underpowered against the real fight against the Archons and the unknown god, who'll probably be another weekly boss we'll grind out of anyways. How would these delusion-wielding characters work? Well, here's where the Genshin Impact webtoon comes into play. Because the webtoon for Genshin Impact is canon, we know the true and canon backstory for some of our favorite characters, one of which is Diluc. The webtoon gives him 2 whole chapters to fully flesh out his backstory, and in his backstory, Diluc's dad uses a delusion that would cost him his life to save his son. After Diluc's backstory, we find out that Diluc has been using this delusion to protect Mondstadt at night without giving away his true identity. The delusion produces long-range black chains with an element almost similar to the mysterious 8th element we have yet to see in-game, the element our twin and Dainsley seem to wield. So, what if that was how these delusions would work? We would do some specific character-based quests, maybe farm some unique items, and boom, Diluc obtains his delusion. And you can go into the character menu to switch Diluc's mode, vision or delusion. In his delusion form, we could also see him change into a different outfit, maybe the mask and the Batman outfit he wears in the webtoon. This could also apply to characters we see in-game right now too, where Tartaglia could also change into his delusion form and wield an electric lance. So, as Genshin Impact keeps on developing, I hope we won't see them make overpowered and meta characters just for the hell of it, to make money, of course, but actually incorporate everything we know about the lore and make the game much more expansive. Genshin Impact has been one of my top played games of 2020 and 2021, and it would be a damn shame if they ruined the game by adding some stupid and broken unit like Arbiter Village. Thanks for watching the whole video, but if you're still here, I'll assume you enjoy these kind of content, so subscription would benefit you because I plan on making more videos like this one. And if you really enjoy the video, liking the video and commenting would also be great. But anyways, have a good one, and I'll see ya.